this is going to be a little rough show today.
Sorry about that, but just to address the glare. So we're
now that Facebook
that.
is listening.
Now that Facebook is listening, we're addressing the glare, and we're going to hopefully have maybe a curtain created for next Tuesday's show. I'm going to maybe reach out at the home front to see if Michelle would be willing to put something together for us so that we could have our sign not have so much sun on the back of it.
Well, I mean, it's visual also. It's not just radio. It's visual.
It is visual, and they want to see all of this. They want to see it. I've got short, look at this. I'm short sleeves today because spring is coming. This is great. The season of yuck is ending, right?
I don't know about that because you're a little bit yucky.
I'm walking through school the other day, and someone said to me, the season of yuck is ending. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. I'm like, they know me very well, which is great. So
why are you a little salty today? Why did you come in salty?
I'm not.
You did.
I am not salty. I'm.
Did you have your coffee?
I'm in a. Okay. So I appreciate this as well. I'm going to make a confession because I actually feel a little bit guilty about this. And you caught me. All right.
I caught you yesterday.
You caught me yesterday. So I had to run. I have a second job. So I was leaving school and I didn't have a whole lot of time and I needed some caffeine. And I took a shortcut. I went to a different establishment instead of Lucas Roasting. You caught me as I was ordering it through the drive-thru. I felt guilty then. I feel guilty now. The coffee was terrible. Okay. It's nothing like Lucas Roasting.
If I was a coffee drinker, I would have driven out of my way to go to Lucas Roasting.
I know, and you should.
I know, and so should you.
I'm glad that
you regretted it.
I've come clean, and I'll be down to Lucas Roasting tomorrow.
Is that why you're grouchy? Did you have your coffee today?
I had Lucas Roasting coffee today, and it was delicious.
Okay, so
yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, and I have water. And Eric's been kind to me today, so maybe it's just a mic problem.
Maybe. My wife says that all the time. All right, do you want to go first? No, I'm going to go first. I'm going to go first because
we haven't finished opening the show.
And you can always join our conversation, 569-LAKE, 569-5253. I hope we get some phone calls today.
I hope so. Yeah, give
us
a call.
There's a lot to talk about in the sports world.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go first. And thank you for. Okay. I am going to go first. I'm just saying. I'm going
you can go first. And I want to say that we're even. By the way, it's 1-1 now. I forgot to turn on Facebook Live. Yeah. And you forgot to finish opening the show.
We're even.
We're even.
Let's leave it at that then.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually had 2 text messages that said, please don't talk about the Celtics.
Okay.
So guess what I'm going to do?
Talk about the Celtics.
I'm going to talk about the Celtics.
Wow.
But I'm going to talk about the Celtics in a very disparaging way.
Okay.
And just about putting them to bed. I'm done.
Okay.
Dunsky. I've absolutely had enough. I am.
I think they may be Dunsky.
Well, I'm asking for this group. Think is done.
Okay.
I would like to trade Jason Tatum.
All right.
I want to trade him today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. Good player. He's not a winner.
Right.
I'm sorry, he's not. What he and Jaylen Brown at this point are not making the other guys on the team better. It's just an absolute catastrophe right now. And their project that Danny Ainge has been hemming and hawing about for the last 7, 8, 9 years with all the picks, the Brooklyn picks,
right.
all this other kind, Memphis pick, and all this other kind of stuff, they might not make the playoffs.
Right.
And even if they do make the playoffs, they're not a fun team to watch. Mm-hmm. They lose to more bad teams than any playoff team that I can ever remember.
Right.
If you come into Boston and you're 14th place, you should be favored by 6 or 7 points.
I agree.
It is absolutely horrible. I would like Stevens to be gone. Fire Brad Stevens. Fire Danny Ainge. I'm done.
Yes, you're really cleaning house.
I'm cleaning house. I'm propose a trade.
All right.
There's another team out there, the Dallas Mavericks, that are in roughly the same boat as the Celtics,
mm-hmm.
and they have a great player over there with Luka Doncic.
Yep.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Well, you're good with the pronunciation.
I am not going to try to pronounce it.
You usually
take
save
a lot
me on
that.
that.
I really enjoy you saying.
How about just Luka?
There you go, Mike.
Anyway,
right, so who are you proposing?
I am proposing Jason Tatum
Yep.
for Luka.
Straight up?
Straight up, but I will throw in Marcus Smart if I have to.
I thought you were going to say I'll throw in Brad Stevens.
No. Well, I think Brad Stevens is going to go to Indiana, and I'm saying at this point go.
Okay.
They're roughly the same record that the Celtics do. They're in 8th place. They're not really making anything happen. They need to shake things up too.
Right.
I'm saying throw in Jason Tatum. I will throw in Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
I will take any of their garbage contracts off their hands and also give them some picks.
Wow.
Because I think that kind of player with a Jaylen Brown,
yeah,
and even maybe a Kemba Walker,
Maybe
that shakes it up enough. I don't think he'd be taking a step backwards because I think he is every bit of player as Jason Tatum is. Some people probably think he's better. I kind of think he's better.
Yeah.
I know that when I used the NBA trade machine, which I used it for the first time.
Did you?
'Cause I'm not a basketball guy, so I used that for the first time. That was pretty cool. I was moving guys all over the place. But every trade that went from Jason Tatum to Dallas and from Luka coming to Boston, Boston gained 3 or 4 wins, and Dallas lost 2 or 3 wins.
Really?
Yeah.
With Tatum going over there. That's interesting.
Well, I think it is. I think it says a little bit about Jason Tatum and what the rest of the league maybe thinks of him. I think he's a talented player. He's not a winner. He's just not doing anything. And I think that you cut bait now. Right now, when he's an all-star and all that other kind of mumbo-jumbo that he's got going, commercials, brand, all that kind of stuff. He probably has some sneakers coming. Get rid of him now and see if you can get some stuff.
What about the other thing is, what about Al Horford? Have you thought about him? I know we've talked about him in the past. Bringing him back, getting rid of maybe Tristan Thompson, get Daniel Tice.
No, I want to get rid of one of the big two.
Okay.
I want to get rid of Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, and I prefer to get rid of Jason Tatum.
I
don't think that this is a team that peripheral moves is going to make a difference. I really don't. I think this is a core issue. Coach and 2 stars, and maybe GM too.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with the Celtics.
Which is too
I know
bad.
we're probably going to talk about their week coming up later, but I am looking forward to their season being over, and so I could just be done with them. It's been so disappointing, and I'm so tired of the friggin' hype that is surrounding that team.
Yeah.
You know, they got great youngs. They got assets. I mean, we've heard it for years and years and years.
But they're not producing.
They're kind of like the Red Sox. The Red Sox overemphasize their farm system and how good their farm system is. And when they get there, you know, some of them are good, but you know, most of them, those guys are overhyped. They do it for trade values and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The Celtics put them to shame when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because every player that the Celtics draft, trade for, sign is an all-star in their eyes. It's unbelievable. And when they get here, you see, oh, there's really nothing special here. We're still 20-20. We're still in 7th place.
Right.
The guy shoots 22% from the field.
Will there be any change now that fans will be coming to games?
Yeah,
at Boston.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of booze.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of booze, and I think they've been skating pretty easily because of that booze. And I think the Bruins have skated a little bit too. And we'll get to them later.
Yeah.
But we know the Red Sox skated last summer without any fans because they would have been booed out of the park with what they were putting out there, and that's probably going to end up being a similar thing this summer.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I'm excited about the Red Sox.
You're excited about baseball season. I don't know how excited about the Red Sox
I'm going to tell you in a little while how excited I am.
Okay. So that's where I'm at with the Celtics.
All right, so
I want to be done.
Basically,
you're
done with the Celtics. You want to blow them up. Pretty much, you don't really want to talk about them a whole lot. And you are saying get rid of Stevens, get rid of Danny Ainge, and get rid of Tatum, and maybe even Marcus Smart.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at a text message from a listener. He says Tatum sucks, cries to refs, doesn't get back.
Yeah,
he doesn't play both sides.
That's like 90% of the NBA.
Okay,
not sucks, but cries to refs. Marcus Smart cries to refs.
LeBron cries to refs, but he's won 4 titles or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum cries to refs, and he has won nothing.
I get it.
And that's what was my beef with him a couple months ago, is that he thinks he's arrived before he's arrived.
Yeah.
And we and I had an argument about that you think he should be treated like a star, but he says he hasn't done anything.
Right, he's got to prove himself. All right. You relax.
I'm done.
Okay. That was good. That was a nice take today. All right. I need you part of my take. So I put down that I'm concerned that the pandemic will have a significant impact on the future of sports. And what I mean by this is not the future of necessarily of professional sports, but really I'm looking more from a youth perspective. And the reason why I'm worrying is because when we look at just kind of nationally, or forget nationally, let's just look locally, the number of kids, let's say from ages, let's say K through 12 kids, all right, kids that play youth sports, the number of kids that are signing up to participate in sports is down. It's really low, and I'm concerned about that. So even if we look at our own Kingswood Ripken Baseball League, the numbers are down, and a lot of it has to do with the pandemic. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned that these kids are going to stop playing. And you know what happens, Mike. You've seen it. A lot of kids will stop playing sports. They'll turn 12 or 13 and stop playing sports, and they never pick it up again. And they miss their opportunity to be part of a team, to have that experience, because there's nothing. And I hope you agree with me. There's nothing more special than being a high school athlete and being part of a team. And those are memories. We talk about them still, memories that we've had from our high school playing days, college playing days and stuff. But these kids are going to miss out on the opportunity because right now I'm kind of blaming the pandemic. What are your thoughts?
I think the pandemic has created an excuse for a lot of families and for and that's not to cut down. I shouldn't have said that.
The
like
pandemic's
that.
real.
The pandemic is real, but it is where I was going with this is that it is video games were okay for the past year,
right?
Because everybody feels bad, including myself, because I turned the other cheek a little bit when it came to video games too for my kids,
sure,
because there wasn't anything to do, and so the pandemic is definitely real.
Yeah, of course.
But it was hard enough to get the kids on the playing field from the video games before when we were limiting their time and everything like that.
Right.
So now where they've been playing so much, and they found another avenue to
esports.
Esports.
Yeah.
We saw that going on at the school. It is making them that much harder to pull them off the couch. And I guess that's where it's really difficult. And we know it's difficult for a 12 and 13-year-old to get off the couch anyway sometimes.
Of course, yeah.
And so now they've been on that couch, and we kind of see it at school. These kids that have been home for remote learning,
right?
Aren't necessarily geared up to come back to school. Some are. We look forward to them coming back full.
Right.
But there are some kids that, we had a kid that hasn't left their house since like last November.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that. And so it's I think that's where you're going with it. I think that this is just hard to get kids back involved. Now, I will say I was talking to Coach Scully the other day. His numbers are really high for spring baseball.
That's awesome.
So at the high school, it's like 39 kids coming
great.
out.
That's
Those
great.
are big numbers.
Yeah.
That's pretty much one of the only sports that I have heard of that has big numbers. I mean, at middle school, we're down a little bit. We're probably down 10 kids from where we usually are at this point.
And we knew that, talking of winter sports, we're down. Coach Farragher with basketball,
right?
His numbers were down.
I mean, hockey was down. Girls hockey was up a little bit.
Yeah, girls hockey was up. Which is great.
Football was way down this year.
Yeah, it was.
I'm pretty sure lacrosse is down, or they're waiting for some signups to come in. But kids are just not participating right now.
Right.
And they found other things to keep them busy, and that's what the pandemic has done. It made it
They've
so
replaced it with
other things.
Right.
Maybe it's a job.
Yeah. So my worry is real. I mean, I'm concerned,
so.
and I think whatever we can do and whatever the coaches can do is get kids active and involved.
Yeah, and I think it is real, Charlie, and I think that it's the athletic directors and organizations, and we're part of Cal Ripken, and we see what Bill Huffman's doing as far as trying to get people signed up.
Great job.
Trying to create an environment where the kids want to sign up, and I do think it's real, and I think it's going to take a community to get the numbers back up.
I agree.
All right, we'll be right back, Mike and the Hoss. And if you'd like to join our conversation, 569-LAKE, 569-5253. And we will take phone calls on the Celtics for a second.
Just for, like maybe one or two phone calls. I was jumping the gun. You didn't even call me on it during the break. I was like getting so pumped up for trivia. I'm like, we got trivia next. Trivia's coming. But trivia's coming in a little while.
We didn't preview the show in general, what we're doing. We got a lot of things happening. First of all, there's some Patriots talk that
Yeah, we got to talk Pats.
And I think we're going to be talking Pats for
oh, man, I love it.
Well, a while.
The Patriots, for you, will replace the Celtics.
Well, probably for you, too.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
I still want to do a little Celtics talk. A little bit.
When they start doing something that's positive and makes us feel good about it, like the Patriots did.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Patriots have had a really fun
week.
few days.
Yeah.
We do have trivia.
That's coming up at top of the hour.
That's top of the hour. We are going to be doing a little baseball talk where we're going to be looking at this doesn't sound very exciting, but we're going to make it exciting.
Yeah, of course we will.
We're going to make it exciting.
That's what we do.
We're going to call it Worried, Happy, Expected.
Worried, happy, expected.
And we're going to look at the minor league stats for the Boston Red Sox because I know you're very high on them.
The minor league stats?
Not the minor league stats. The spring training stats.
I was going to say, because people are tuning out. If we're going to be going over minor league stats, they're leaving.
Spring training stats for the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
And then, and we're just going to go over, who's going to be on the main roster.
We're going to go over the opening day lineup as well.
Opening day lineup.
I have that on here.
And I want to know if you, based on their stats.
Yeah.
And we're not going to, it's
not
going to be the expanded stats.
Yeah, I know. You're just going to look at the stats.
I'm just going to throw worried ones out you, and then I'm just going to wonder. But
I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at my gut and my gut feeling because these Red Sox are going to be something special.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I also hope that the Celtics are something special, and this is what happened. They're special, all right.
They are. They're a 2020 something special.
And then you and I are going to do a little baseball trivia game at the end of the show.
And the best part about this is we haven't looked at any of the trivia. I think we've proven on past shows we're actually not very good at trivia, which is kind of fun. Remember some back on WCTV, Johnny Bean and Ali Champagne would create some pretty cool games for us, and
that were just about impossible.
We were awful.
The mascot one or whatever was we had the symbol of the college.
Yeah,
and it was like East Tallahoosa State, and it was like,
I know.
Oh my God, I can't. How are we supposed to know that?
No idea. I know.
So it was fun though.
It was a good time.
All right. I said we were going to recap their week. We're going to do it really fast. Celtics 20-20 lost to Utah. That was expected. Lost to Cleveland.
Ooh.
Not expected.
No.
Brown and Tatum combined for 5 for 23 from 3. Brown was one of the only Celtics that was in the plus column.
That's crazy.
One of the only ones.
Getting nothing from the bench.
Tatum was like minus 11.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, if you're just going to compare that Brown to Tatum, and they scored about the same amount of points.
Yeah.
They shot about the same amount from the field, but Brown was, like I said, he was like plus 5, plus 6 or something like that. Tatum was minus 11. I think that brings back to
it comes back
texture.
It comes back to what the texture said of what you said. It's time to let Tatum go.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he still has some value.
Well, right now he's not going to have any more value probably than he has right now.
Right.
And if he does get more value, that's because they won, and you're not going to want to get rid of him then.
Obviously. Yeah.
But at this point, have you seen enough?
Well, you've convinced me that I've seen enough.
Really?
Just because I you know how high I am on the Celtics and how I picked them to go to the NBA Finals and how much I like Brad Stevens and I like Danny Ainge. But you're right. I think something needs to be done because when you're looking at this team, they were built. If I gave the paper to Eric Scott right now and said, look at the Celtics and all their accolades and who they are, Eric would be like, oh my gosh, this is a team, Charlie, I agree with you, that would make it to the NBA Finals. That being said, they haven't achieved or not achieved, but they haven't performed as well as expected.
If they were losing only to the Milwaukees, the Philadelphias, the Los Angeles, the Brooklyns, then you would say, well, that's what there are. They're a second, third, fourth place team.
Yeah.
They've lost to like 11 teams below 500.
I know.
11.
I know.
They've only played 40 games.
Yeah.
So half of their losses are teams that are rebuilding, going for the lottery.
Right.
Where the Celtics are supposed to be going for it this year.
Yeah, you're right about that. You mentioned, though, the Brad Stevens thing and, the odds of him, with Indiana, and the odds are pretty high that he's not going to go. But do you still think that they might try to work something out? Or
I think so.
Yeah.
I think where there's smoke, there's fire, and
kind of return home.
How often is that Indiana job going to open up? Now, Brad Stevens is not old by any means.
Of course.
But how often is that job going to open up again?
Right.
And it's not like the Celtics are cleaning up right now in Boston, or the fan base is really excited about what's happening.
Yeah.
It's probably time to cut his losses. He's made a lot of money. He's probably going to be offered a lot of money in Indiana.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like you said, that's his hometown.
Good chance.
I think it's one of those things where we mentioned in the last show. It's a mutual parting of the ways, I think, is coming.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it instead of saying.
All right, can we be done with the Celtics?
Yeah, let's be done.
Because
I'm sure we're aggravating people.
Well, the Patriots, on the complete other hand, had a great week. They had so excited. I mean, Twitter was a blast to do, and it was happening like every hour. They were signing somebody new, and they were spending money. These guys that they signed, though, when you look at their contracts, nobody's making more than $4 or $5 million against the cap.
Right.
It's amazing they did.
And they're young.
And they still have $25 million this year in salary cap money. There's a lot of future salary cap money coming in the future years.
Right.
Like you said, all these guys are 25, 26 years old. They're all young, either getting in their prime or in their prime.
Yeah.
These are really exciting times, except for is a quarterback an important position?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit.
Okay, so
because we have great receivers that nobody can throw to right now. Although, speaking of that, you saw this, I'm sure, that the Jarrett Stidham is going to host the people out west, the receivers out west.
New England
West, whatever. Is Cam Newton going? Like, who's going to this? Like, how? I mean, listen. I mean, Jarrett Stidham's a professional athlete, and I'm not trying to put him down because I'm certainly not. But how many people are saying, like, yeah, let's travel out west so I can work out with Jarrett Stidham?
Well, my understanding is that all the receivers that are out west
Yeah.
are planning on going.
Well, that's good.
All the ones. And that's kind of what – I mean, Brady was a different animal, obviously, so they would –
yeah.
I mean, Edelman –
They go to where? They go to Montana with him, whatever.
Edelman moved out there when – story, when Edelman was a rookie, or the year after his rookie year, he – got an apartment around where Brady was
living, yeah.
And at the time he didn't have much money, but he got an apartment in the offseason where Brady was and just waited for the phone call
just saying
for Brady to say, let's go throw. And he said one day that phone call came and it was all worth it. He just hung around waiting for that. Think about that.
That's awesome.
That's dedication.
Yeah, that is.
I don't think they're doing that for Jarrett Stidham. I don't see Nelson Aguilar, getting an apartment just to wait for Jarrett Stidham's phone call.
So.
How do you think Cam Newton – because right now Cam Newton's the starter.
Right.
Hopefully he's not going to be.
Jarrett Stidham may not even be on the team.
Right. But how do you think Cam Newton's like this back?
I think
taking all the receivers?
Yeah, I think Cam Newton probably doesn't care. The guy's a veteran, former MVP. I don't think he reads into it too much. But I don't know. I want to know if Cam's going. Because that would be exciting.
Wouldn't that steal Stidham's thunder if Cam Newton was going? If it's Stidham's organizing this thing?
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know who the organizer is. I guess it would be Stidham, but I don't know. We got.
You know who needs that more than anybody?
Keep an eye on.
Do you know who needs that throwing camp more than anybody?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Yeah, I know. So maybe Jarrett Stidham's going to teach Cam Newton some of his old mechanics.
I don't know. I mean, it's the Patriots dramatically need a quarterback because that would be the icing on the cake. I don't think it's going to be Deshaun Watson.
Well, let's see. You just took the words right out of my mouth, as Meatloaf would say.
Yeah.
Right. But we were so high. My text to you yesterday was, so let's see if we can sign Deshaun Watson before the end of the day, and then kind of
7 lawsuits.
Everything.
7. There's up to 7 lawsuits right now.
It's crazy.
The league's looking at it now.
Yeah.
Suspension is a good chance that that's coming.
Yeah.
I sent back jokingly that we probably can get him pretty cheap right now.
Yeah. Right.
But I don't know if he could be missing all next year.
I was going to say. I mean, he could be. I'm right now. They're civil suits, but I mean, hopefully, they could become criminal investigation as well. But the Patriots are smart enough to know, because they lived through Aaron Hernandez, that you want to stay far away from someone who's in legal trouble. So they need to make sure that Deshaun Watson right now is currently off the table. What are your thoughts about any? I don't have any quarterback ideas. My quarterback idea already signed with someone, which was Ryan Fitzpatrick.
How do you feel?
Are you still holding out for Garoppolo?
How about Marcus Mariota?
Yeah,
does that do anything?
I mean, it doesn't really move the needle a whole lot, but because he has some of this, he can run like Newton, but he also has similar issues with throwing. He wasn't designed to be a pocket passer, stretch the field. That's not who Marcus Mariota is.
But
is he better than Newton? Yes.
You hear a lot of talk about Trey Lance, and Trey Lance is a mobile quarterback who's got a big arm, but he's not very seasoned. Is that the direction that they're going? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because the line that they got is not a mobile line.
Yeah.
One of the best parts of the things that the Patriots did was build that line back up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a really good line that they have.
Right.
But that's built for Trent Brown is not a guy that's going to be, running down the edge and when a quarterback's scrambling.
I know.
He's like, I'm 6'8", 350 pounds. You're going to have to run around me.
Yeah.
And he's really good at that.
He is.
But I don't think he's a guy that's going to get out and chase Cam Newton around and, doing that. Or Marcus Mariota. Russell Wilson.
I mean, I love Russell Wilson.
You know where I'm going back to right here?
No, where are you going?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
You know that Jimmy would be my top pick. I love Jimmy G.
Well, when Garoppolo played for Brady, I was fortunate enough to go to one of the games.
Played with Brady.
No, played for Brady.
Oh, you mean he was
when he was suspended, when he played
I got
in
what you're
his
saying.
place.
Yeah.
When he went in his place.
So you were there.
And one of the things that Garoppolo did really, really well was throw to the tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
That was a strength of his.
And look what the Pats have right now.
And so the Pats have rebuilt this tight end offense. And so maybe, I mean, you got to figure Bill knows something.
Of course he
knows. I mean, he's talked to the guys in San Francisco if he's going to get shaken loose or not.
Right.
I'm worried that with Deshaun Watson probably not moving, I'm guessing he's not going to move now, that might make it so Jimmy has to stay.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what
either.
happens.
I don't know either.
The one thing I do know, though, is that Robert Kraft should never go to a massage parlor, and neither should Deshaun Watson, because it just bad things happen.
Yeah, I mean,
so
a lot of bad things have happened in massage parlors the past few days.
I don't know what's going on.
No.
So
that was real sideways there about a massage parlor.
Well, just with the Deshaun Watson stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course Robert Kraft had been in trouble with that as well.
Yes, and that's been in the news this week too.
Obviously, for terrible reasons.
Right. So
yeah,
I guess nobody should be going to those places right now.
No, ever again.
Ever again.
Just hire a personal massage.
Okay.
No, they're not a massage.
When we come back, can we preview our
Yeah, we got trivia coming up.
We got trivia. This is a local question.
This is a
local question.
Local sports.
All right, we'll be right back, Mike and the Hoss. All right, it's trivia time.
Yes.
And I know you're excited about this one. All right, here you go. What local high school coach recently recorded his 400th win in NHIA competition? What local high school coach recently recorded his 400th win in NHIAA competition? And we say recently, we'll say in the last 5 years. We'll put a little. Oh, that one came in.
We already
quick.
have a phone call.
What do you see?
Welcome to Mike and the Hoss.
Hey, Charlie, it's Mike Potenza. How are you?
Hey, Coach Potenza, how are you?
I'm outstanding, thank you.
Great. Are you calling about the trivia, or do you have other stuff you'd like to share with us?
Well, I'm calling about the trivia.
Okay.
Chip Scully.
That is
correct. Coach Scully, Chip Scully has over 400 wins.
So I mean, think about that. He's been coaching for more than 35 years at the high school level, which is
crazy.
Which is a lifetime for many. And you play about 18 games, give or take, in a high school season.
Right.
To get to 400 wins, you've won some games.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive mark.
Which is pretty awesome.
So,
Coach, you still there?
I am still here.
All right. Hey, we just found out that there were some honors given to some of our local high school athletes for the boys hockey team that, of course, you coach. You want to talk a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, we had our all-state meeting for D2 ice hockey last night, and all three of our captains walked away with all-state honors, which is pretty impressive in a year where you consider we only saw one team in our division, which means, the way our boys play makes its way around from coach to coach, and they were recognized for their abilities this year.
That's great, Coach. And as I look at all three names, they deserve it. They really did deserve it, and they, through a very difficult season, we've said that a lot, the leadership that those three showed goes beyond how they played on the ice and what they did off the ice, and kind of keeping the team up and interested, and engaged. And it went all the way down to the playoff game against Somersworth. Somersworth ended up losing in the finals in overtime to Dover, and we were with them the whole time, and that was the only D2 team we played all year long.
So before we let you go, Coach, I wanted to name the players. So the following players made second team All-State. Nick Potenza, congratulations to Nick, and Bailey Savage. So that's second team All-State, and Cody Emerson. What's that?
Oh, Nick and Bailey are also playing this Sunday in the senior All-Star game.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. Is that down at Rinks? Rinks of Exeter?
It will be at Dover Arena this year, Sunday at 1:00.
Are they allowing fans?
Yes, they are.
That's exciting.
Nice.
All right. And then Cody Emerson received honorable mention for All-State, which is fantastic. So 3 captains for the Knights, which is amazing, and a credit, obviously, to you, Coach, and the Kingswood hockey program.
Well, I think all the credit goes to Coach Danais, because 2 of those 3 were defensemen, and he handled the defensemen this year.
That's awesome.
That was nice.
You should see how big his head is right now.
Yeah.
Hey, much appreciated, Coach, and congratulations on the trivia. Go down to Full Belly Deli and pick up your gift card.
Awesome. Thank you very much. You guys have a great day.
You too.
Take care. That's great. It's always great to hear from Coach, but more importantly, it's great to hear the accolades of our Kingswood athletes.
Well, he is our number one caller.
He is our
number one guest from the TV show, and I think he really wants to keep that status of being number one. He feels.
I think he'll keep that status.
I do too.
But once again, congratulations to Nick Potenza, Bailey Savage, and Cody Emerson. And I did want to throw out one more Kingswood thing. is that this weekend, if you haven't registered for spring sports, the Kingswood late registration for spring sports is open as of now through Sunday night. So make sure you get your kiddos signed up for spring sports at Kingswood Regional High School.
And, as we mentioned, the answer to the trivia question was Chip Scully.
Yeah, which is awesome. And Chip's one of our
wins.
sponsors with Scully's Market.
And he's still at it.
He's still doing it.
And, I mentioned the baseball program, that the baseball program has more players. We talked about the effects of COVID and this.
Yep.
It's not affecting his program right now.
39 strong. That's awesome.
Yeah, so he's doing
Great.
still doing a great job, still putting in the time in. So thank you, Coach Scully, and congratulations on your 400th win.
All right. Moving on. Are we
we're going to baseball now.
Are we ready to talk baseball?
We are.
I've been waiting for this.
I know you have.
Yep.
And so, all right, we are going to talk about the current. I was going to say minor league.
Don't say minor league.
I was going to say
this is major
spring
league
training stats.
Yeah, the spring
stats. We're going to we'll just deal with the starters. Okay, we're just going to kind of move this thing along.
Let's go over the starting lineup.
All right,
want to do that quickly?
You got it.
All right. Kiki Hernandez will be leading off, playing second base. You have Alex Verdugo playing center field. J.D. Martinez is going to bat third as the DH. Xander Bogaerts is playing cleanup at shortstop. Rafael Devers playing third base. Hunter Renfroe, right field. Marwin Gonzales is playing left field. Christian Vasquez will be the catcher. Bobby Dahlbeck will be first base. The starting pitcher on the mound will be Erod. We know that Franchi Cordero is still he'll most likely be playing once he gets off of COVID protocol. He'll be the left fielder. Okay. So go ahead. You go ahead.
All right, here we go. We're going to start with Kiki Hernandez.
Yep.
He's our second baseman. He's batting .273 right now. He has a homer and 4 RBIs. Is that what you expect from him?
That's fine. He'll get on base.
You get this? Okay,
yeah, I'm
we're
all right
okay
with that.
Alex Verdugo.
Yeah. Playing center field for us.
Yep.
Replace JBJ.
And I
Can't really replace him. He was on the team last year, but
and he has not played, I guess, in the spring.
Oh, great! So he's all right.
So how are you feeling about that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
He was solid last year.
That's weird. He's not on here.
Yeah.
So,
J.D. Martinez.
J.D. Martinez. Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
He's batting .267.
Yeah.
No home runs. That's a little bit upsetting.
Yeah.
Because he struggled last year with some power. And remember, he actually there. I saw a segment that he was talking about how he's not a natural hitter.
Mm-hmm. Right, you were saying he has to really work at it.
He really has to work at it, and that his preparation is what makes him a good hitter.
Right.
But I just found that to be a really interesting for a major league ball player to say, I'm not a natural hitter.
Right.
I just work at it really hard. Mm-hmm. And because he didn't have the work because of COVID, that
he's not in his groove.
Right, he wasn't in his groove at all. And so, but I don't think he's in his groove right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. He's batting third.
Okay. That's J.D. Martinez.
How about Xander Bogaerts?
Xander Bogaerts, batting .200.
Okay.
No home runs.
That's exactly what you want for a
one
number
RBI
4 hitter. Okay.
Now, in his defense, he only has 10 at bats.
I was going to say,
so he has not played, but he had some issues, like a shoulder thing going on.
Yeah, he has shoulder issues, so we don't even know if he's ready for opening day.
Okay. Rafael Devers.
Yeah, we love him.
Batting .207.
Great, awesome.
He has 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, so he's got a little bit of power, but 207 is tough to take there.
Yeah,
and that's in 29 at bats.
What about Hunter Renfroe?
Hunter Renfroe. You're gonna give me a second to scroll here.
That's fine. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
He's batting .250, 1 home run, 5 RBIs, and 32 at bats.
Okay.
You okay with that?
I'm okay with that right now.
Okay.
Spring training.
Oh, there's the next page.
Apparently, I'm not supposed to put a lot of stock into spring training. I was told that by a caller a while ago.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But I think there's a little bit of a sign that there's a trend.
Yeah.
If a guy's not hitting at all. I remember Carl Crawford when he was here, and everybody was all excited when he was here, and he was garbage in the spring, and he was garbage when the regular season started.
Right.
So there is a little bit. Marwin Gonzales.
Yeah.
Where is Marwin Gonzales? I guess there's another page.
Yeah.
That's not Ronaldo.
Well, if you don't have Marwin, you can go on to Christian Vasquez.
I have Christian Vasquez. I'll go to the second page in a second here. Maybe I'll find 368 Christian Vasquez.
Okay. Batting 8th.
Trade him. Get something for him.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No. I like Christian Vasquez.
The next player has probably been the most hype all spring long.
Yeah.
Bobby
Dahlbeck.
Yeah. That has by far been the most hype.
Batting 9th.
I think he's not going to bat 9th. I mean, they're talking. He's got 5 home runs. He's got a lot of power. He's showing a lot of power this spring. I don't think he's going to bat 9th.
Well, listen. I looked at this lineup and said the same thing, and then I saw what Alex Cora said. Alex Cora said we have a very robust offensive team, and he said We are so good offensively. That's the reason why Vasquez is batting 8th and Dahlbeck is batting 9th.
Okay.
So we'll see.
I found
Marwin.
no, I didn't find Marwin. I found
How about Franchi? Franchi Cordero?
No, I'll go back to him. I found Alex Verdugo.
Okay. Yeah.
Batting 100.
Okay. How many at-bats?
That would be in 20 at-bats.
All right, so not a lot.
Not a lot, but that's, I mean,
yeah.
How?
I'm sure.
Regular season
he
starts pretty soon.
He probably hit a lot of.
What was the other name you wanted me to look up?
Franchi Cordero, but he's been on COVID protocol.
Right. I don't think he's played too much. I think he just played in his first game the other day.
Yeah. So
I don't even.
I won't
know
worry
if
about it. But let's talk a little bit of the Red Sox. You and your stats over there.
I just thought
you
that
don't
was
think?
Interesting.
Are you worried about this lineup? You don't think the Sox are going to get some wins?
Yeah, they're going to get wins.
Yeah.
I think that I think 500 is going to be a successful season for them.
Okay.
And I told you that, this is 3 or 4 episodes ago, that their rebuilding plan is not a 1-year plan. This is like 3 years out before they clean out all of the extra stuff that they have.
Which is painful for Boston sports fans.
It really is, because we want them to be a big market team.
Right.
This is not a big market lineup.
No, I agree with that.
But
could this be a lineup that surprises though?
It has to.
That's what
I think
I'm
it
looking
has
for,
to.
like a surprise, wow.
But it has to. 7 or 8 of these guys have to have career years to make this thing work.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just do their regular career averages, the Red Sox are in trouble. They're in trouble, and I think 80 wins is going to be tough to come by.
Mm-hmm.
If J.D. Martinez continues to bat .267 with no power, they're in trouble. If Alex Verdugo is batting 100, boy, you're going to really regret.
He probably won't be in the lineup.
Well, you're going to really regret Jackie Bradley Jr. Because Jackie Bradley Jr. is going to have like a 35-game hit streak and hit like 19 home runs this year and be a great leader in Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be a great player out there. You just know that's going to happen.
He'll be waving to the fans. Take that, Charlie.
He is going to start saying hi to the fans over there.
Yep.
He's just going to be like, I didn't like the Boston guys anyway. I saw that Hossack up there. I didn't want to talk to him.
I don't want to wave to him. Right.
All right. We're going to take a break a little bit early because I want to leave extra time for us for our trivia, unless you have something else on baseball.
No, I'm good. I can't wait for trivia. Our trivia is baseball.
It is. We'll be right back. Mike and the Hoss.
All
right. We got a text about sharing our Final Four picks.
Right. Which we did on Tuesday.
We did. So
that's okay.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
But we're going to do it again.
Let's do it again.
We're going to do it again.
Yeah.
And then I would like him to text us his picks.
I think that would be great.
Okay. So mine, Gonzaga, Alabama, Illinois, and North Carolina.
All right. Mine are Gonzaga, Alabama, Arkansas, Houston.
So the person that texted us, he can text us with his.
He can text us his
picks. And then we can talk about his picks.
Yeah, which will be great.
Real quick, Bruins second. And it's not even going to be a Bruins moment, although we were going to talk about the Bruins, but we got caught up in other things.
They're doing all right, though.
Two wins.
Yeah.
They beat Pittsburgh, which is ahead of them in the standings. Unlike the Celtics, they don't do things like that. And then they beat a really bad Buffalo team, 4-1, which, again, the Celtics don't do things like that either.
Right.
So they're rolling. They're 1 point behind Pittsburgh for third place. They're 3 points ahead of Philadelphia for fifth place, and I know you don't like it when I do things like that. But
it's okay. That's who you are.
They started a rookie goalie the other night against Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Did very well. Was that the spark that they needed?
Could be a little bit of spark.
And they got scoring last night from 3 guys not named Pasternak.
Which is
or
great.
Marchand,
which they need.
or Bergeron.
Right.
So I thought that's a good sign for the Celtics moving. I'm not Celtics.
Not the Celtics.
The Bruins moving forward. They're really on my mind.
Yeah.
All right,
that's great.
You ready for some trivia?
Yeah, I'm ready for some baseball trivia. If you get a text did you get a text yet for the Final Four? Yeah, of course not.
We scared him away.
He stopped listening. He's gonna call us, or he's gonna text you next week. Have you done your Final Four picks?
All right. Here's your first question. So we'll get some trivia. We swore to each other that we were not going to look at this, and so this is honest. We have not looked at anything. You guys could play along at home.
Or give us a call, 569-5253.
Against what opposing team did Babe Ruth hit his first career home run?
Okay. I'm going to say the New York Yankees.
I'm going to say the New York Yankees.
Yeah. Do we have is there no multiple choice or anything like this? I do much better.
I will give you, okay, from here on I'll give you options. There is multiple choice.
Okay.
I
do a lot better with multiple choice. I'm going to pick C for every answer.
Okay. Next question.
Is that correct?
That was correct. Sorry, that was
All
correct.
Right.
New York Yankees.
Yay for us.
Because he was playing for the Red Sox then.
Yeah, I knew that.
All right. Who was the first Major League player to pitch a ball over 100 miles per hour?
Oh, it's got to be Nolan Ryan.
Your choices are Roger Clemens, Nolan Ryan, Tom Seaver, or Dwight Gooden.
I'm sticking with Nolan Ryan.
I'm sticking with Nolan Ryan on that one also. And we are correct. September
Wow.
7th, 1974, he did it. Some of these are pretty easy. What Baltimore Orioles manager was ejected from a record 91 games?
It's got to be Earl Weaver.
See, you don't even need the multiple choice.
I know, but I need that like lifeline just in case.
Okay.
Is it Earl Weaver? Do you agree?
Earl Weaver is a choice, and that's what I would choose.
Okay. Are we correct?
We are correct.
All right. So once again, if people want to join us, they can. Maybe we're going a little too fast.
Okay.
But 569-5253.
Well, you've known all the answers so far.
Okay. Well, we have known the answers.
This is a tougher one.
Okay.
Who was the first major league player to have his number retired?
I think I know this. I'm going to go with Lou Gehrig.
So Lou Gehrig is one of the choices.
I think that's
Babe Ruth, George Kelly, or Charlie Robertson.
I think it's Lou Gehrig.
I would say Lou Gehrig also, and we are right.
Okay.
Lou Gehrig Day.
So I did know that.
July 4th, whoops, we had a text.
Did we get the final 4 picks from our friend?
So, no, we just got a little update that
Yeah.
Oral Roberts, the number 15 team, just beat Ohio State, the number 2 team in overtime.
Holy chickens. Upset City.
That was not one of our upsets we chose.
That was not one of our upsets. That's great. Good for Oral Roberts.
What player was nicknamed Mr. November?
No. We know this.
You have a choice of Derek.
No, I don't want a choice. Can I? Is it all right if I say it?
Sure.
It's got to be Derek Jeter.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm going to say David Ortiz.
Oh.
So our choices are Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Reggie Jackson, David Ortiz.
Derek Jeter.
You are right.
Yeah, I knew that.
I had to go against your grain on that one.
Okay.
What pitcher had no right hand?
Oh, we know this one.
I know.
Yeah, Jim Abbott.
Jim Abbott.
Yep.
That's correct. All right, way to go. You're very good at this.
Not really.
Okay.
I'm just lucky.
Oops,
just because they're easy questions.
Well, I mean, you
Which is great.
know a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
The Brooklyn Dodgers nickname originally referred to dodging what?
You're not going to believe this.
You know this one?
I actually know this.
All right, what?
I know this. It's got maybe it's the history teacher in me. It's got to be dodging trolleys.
And that is a choice.
Yeah.
Horse droppings.
I like that. Horse droppings. Yeah.
Bullets. The police.
Interesting.
Those are the 4 choices. So
I'm going to go with trolleys.
I think trolleys is probably correct. Yep, the Trolley Dodgers was
I
their
knew
original
that.
one.
Yep.
Well done. This one you might not know.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, actually, you're going to know this. What player was killed by a pitch from Yankees pitcher Carl Mays? You're going to know this.
I'm going to need the multiple choice for this one.
Yeah, I'll have to give it away. Ray Chapman,
Oh, it's Ray Chapman.
Herb Score,
Yeah, Ray Chapman.
Tony Caligiero,
Oh, Tony C., but it wasn't him.
Bryce Flory.
No.
You're going with Ray Chapman?
Yeah. Definitely.
You are correct. August 16th, 1920.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't wear helmets then.
It's crazy.
I mean,
Can you imagine?
No, I can't.
That's
You might know this one. What is the name of the fictitious minor league baseball team on the Simpsons TV show?
Eric might know this. We're gonna
What is
go
it,
to
Eric?
Eric Scott.
The Springfield Isotopes.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
The Springfield Isotopes.
There you go.
I would love to get it. You don't have any? Do you wear any Simpsons gear? Do you have like a shirt, Springfield Isotopes?
No, the only souvenir is the slushy cup from when they had the movie premiere.
Oh yeah.
I kept one.
Yeah,
that's all.
cool. I love that. I knew you would know that.
That's
Springfield
great.
Isotopes.
What female pitcher once struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig?
Oh man, this is going to be a total guess, but if you give me some names, I might have a shot.
Then I can guess. If I hear
That I
some
can
names.
guess with my multiple choice.
Kelsey Whitmore,
I don't think so.
Jackie Mitchell, Mamie Johnson,
Oh, Mamie Johnson.
Constance Morgan. Who are you going with?
Give me it one more time. This is a female pitcher
Who
that
struck out
Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig.
Kelsey Whitmore,
Yeah,
Jackie Mitchell,
Yep.
Mamie Johnson,
yeah.
Constance Morgan.
It's pure guess. I'm going to go. I don't know, Jackie Mitchell.
I'll go with Mamie because that just sounds like a name that would be playing around Babe
I'll go
Ruth
with
and Lou
Jackie.
Gehrig. All right, so you're going with Jackie. Jackie's right.
That's a pure guess.
You're
I didn't-
like
I
undefeated.
didn't know that.
A 17-year-old female pitcher for the Double-A Chattanooga Lookouts once played the New York Yankees in an exhibition game and struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig in succession.
Can you imagine?
No,
That's unbelievable.
that's a great little
So,
story that
great
I
story.
was not worried about.
Jackie
aware of
Mitchell.
that. All right.
Yeah. Any more trivia?
Yeah, there is. There's
Yeah.
like 90 questions left.
Oh gosh.
I don't think we're going to get to it.
No, probably not.
This one just came across my screen. Oral Roberts stuns Ohio State.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Yeah. So 15 beat a 2.
And this is not loading. Uh-oh.
I think my bracket is busted. We're like half a day into this.
I put less effort into my bracket this year than I ever have, and I don't know.
I put a little into it, but not a whole lot.
I put less than I ever have.
Yeah. So maybe you'll be successful.
I don't know what that says.
Yeah.
Is it just
it's just
the
so
lack
hard.
of
I mean,
interest?
it's such a crapshoot, right? As to who's gonna advance and not advance. But
all right, it finally loaded up.
oh, okay.
Who was the first reliever elected to the Hall of Fame? Do you need choices, or you got it?
I guess I'll take some choices.
All right, Dennis Eckersley.
Yeah.
Raleigh Fingers.
Yeah.
Goose Gossage.
Yeah.
Hoyt Wilhelm.
To the Hall of Fame, I don't. Maybe Goose Gossage.
That's what I was going to go. I was going to go Goose Gossage.
I bet it's Hoyt Wilhelm though, because I don't know.
I was
going to
go Goose Gossage. What do you want me to do?
Who's Hoyt Wilhelm? Do you know?
He's a pitcher.
You know what? I'll go with Hoyt because I don't know who he is.
Well, Hoyt is correct.
Wow.
Was nearly 30 years old when he entered the major leagues, and he pitched until he was 50.
30 pitched till this must have been years ago then.
Well, yes. He retired with one of the lowest career earned run averages, 2.52, and I think we talked about that in one of our earned run average things.
Yeah, we talked about ERA.
Yeah. The Major League Baseball Comeback Player of the Year award was developed as part of a sponsorship agreement involving what product?
It's got to be Wheaties.
Viagra.
Holy chickens. No, don't think so.
Energizer. Coke.
No, it's got to be Wheaties.
Wheaties.
I think I know that.
Yeah, I think we're going to go with Wheaties on that one. No, it's not Wheaties.
What is it?
You have another guess? Viagra.
Maybe.
Energizer or Coke?
How about Energizer?
No.
It's got to be Coke then. It's Coke.
I hope it's Coke.
Yeah.
No. The Major League Baseball player sponsorship agreement was presented to the player who is judged to have reemerged on the baseball field during a given season. The award was developed in 2005 as part of a sponsorship agreement between Major League Baseball and Viagra.
Okay. So I don't know if that's an award I'd want to get. Interesting.
I just thought that has been around for a lot.
So we should have gone with the total random. That's crazy. Oh boy. All right.
I'm sorry.
What do you got for the next trivia question? We have some inappropriate comments from Eric Scott. I'm glad they're not going over air.
All right.
Okay.
What Major League Baseball player holds the record for most consecutive games with a strikeout?
Most consecutive games with a strikeout?
Yes. So your choices are Babe Ruth,
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson, Aaron Judge, or Chili Davis.
Gosh, I don't know. Meaning that they strike out?
They struck out in consecutive games.
Oh.
So the most games that they struck out.
I don't know. Aaron Judge.
Oh, I'm going to go Chili Davis.
Okay.
I think Chili Davis was a strikeout
Love
machine.
that name.
Nope. Aaron Judge. God, you're like you're killing me in this.
Look
You're
at
just
this. This
like,
is
no.
great. Well, all Aaron Judge does is hit home runs or strike out. So.
He was his rookie season, 37 consecutive games.
He struck
out. Yep.
Wow. That's crazy.
I know. This is an easy one.
Oh, so I won't get it because
you
said
will.
that.
What legend? I'm not even going to give you your choices though. You're going to have to tell me.
Oh,
what
boy.
legendary broadcaster called Dodgers games from 1950 through 2016?
Vin Scully.
Vin Scully.
Yeah.
That is correct. I'm not even going to check it. I know that one.
Yep.
Which San Francisco Giants player once hit a home run but didn't score? That's a good one.
That is a great question.
That's
I'm
a
going
Trivial
to
Pursuit question.
I'm going to
there.
need multiple choice on this.
Benji Molina.
To get my pie piece.
Yeah.
Benji Molina. No. It's not him.
Randy Wynn.
Okay.
John Bowker.
All right.
Or Aaron Rowand.
Gee, gosh. Let's go with John. I have no idea.
I'm going to say Benji Molina, just
Okay.
because he's the only name
Only
that I
one you
really
know.
recognize. You are wrong on yours.
Okay.
Benji Molina is correct.
Yeah, Mike.
He became the first player in Major League history to hit a home run and not get credit for a run scored. In the sixth inning of a game against the Los Angeles Dodgers, he hit a ball off the right field wall that was originally ruled a single. The umpires used instant replay and subsequently ruled the hit a home run, but Molina had already been replaced at first base with pinch runner Emmanuel Burris, who rounded the bases and was credited with the run.
Wow. That's cool.
Interesting factoid there.
That is.
not as good as most improved player, or what is it, comeback player?
Comeback player of the year.
I will never look at that award the same way.
No.
We will be back on Tuesday with more Mike and the Hoss.
Have a great weekend.